Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Coatings Coffee Shop Soundstage, sponsored by Handy Foam. My name's Karen Edwards. We are live at the Spray Foam Show 2026 in Las Vegas, and I am sitting here with Frank Mortl, the Executive Director of SPFA.
What
Frank,
a thrill.
welcome.
Thank you so much. What a thrill. It's been an exciting
Mm.
few days here in Las Vegas. We are just thrilled with the energy, the positive connections that are happening, and really, we think some tangible business to benefit the SPF industry as a whole.
Oh, for sure. Wow. We were just chatting a little bit before we started this interview, and this is my third year coming, and I think this is just the biggest show. The buzz, people are excited,
Yes, they are.
right?
And I took a pulse check yesterday. So I tend to, on the first day of an expo, go around to some of my heavier hitters and those that I can have built some trust and rapport with and said, how are you feeling? A little high, lower than years past, good connections. And to a person, not only were the opportunities of traffic at a high level, but the connections to actually identify new products, cutting edge services that will benefit these contractors directly was at the highest level I've seen in 3 years.
Yeah, yeah, it's been great. Today the show's almost over. We're wrapping up in about half hour, 45
That's
minutes,
right.
and then we're moving on to the awards.
We're excited. Instead of a traditional luncheon, we're going to have a National Industry Excellence Awards reception. Big difference between a ceremony, which we've had in the past, like a wedding ceremony, and the fun part at the reception. So that's what we're gearing up for now, almost at the top of the hour, for the end of the show. That will wrap up this 5-day extravaganza here in Las Vegas for the spray foam industry.
Oh man, and I tell you what, come back to Coatings Coffee Shop in about a week or so because we're going to have those award winners profiled
Nice.
on the site. There are some really amazing projects.
We're
I
very
mean,
proud of the selections this year. We thought, oh, are we going to get the typical 20 to 30, 50 plus submissions? It was so challenging for the judges
right?
to
How do
go
you
through
pick?
and find. Well, it's not easy. Fortunately, we have a very high level acumen of technical supervisors that know the ins and outs of all of those awardees and who should ultimately be the winning groups. And we're all on pins and needles to find out who the winners will be this year.
I know. And I tell you what, this entire event, there's just been a buzz, right?
Thank you.
There really has been because the opportunities and potential that spray foam has so versatiile, right? So many different
Certainly. Well,
applications.
coatings as well as everything involved for roofs, of course, but also the typical insulation features. And now for us at SPFA, a focus on concrete lifting. But of course, coatings and roofings and everything that's done really the baseline for why SPFA was even created in the first place. It's really
Right.
exciting.
I know. So let's talk a little bit about some of the initiatives that you have that are new that you're talking about
Certainly.
here at the show.
Three big ones essentially, and we're so grateful for a tremendously dedicated leadership team on our board of directors, but in particular, Always Tech Services, our professional certification program, and mentorship and best practices shared peer to peer from contractor to contractor. On the technical services side, we have launched just recently an alternative to R value. We've been dedicating so many
That's bold.
resources. Imagine that boulder to try and push uphill, right? We have found some testing protocols. The numbers, the metrics haven't been developed quite yet. We're not ready to release, but we're in the process of finding something called assembly performance value or A value. And wouldn't that be wonderful to find a true alternative to R value that was a direct measurement for the spray polyurethane foam industry? So we're excited for that. When I talk about PCP, I mentioned concrete lifting. Wouldn't it be great if over the course of the next several months, if not a year or so, we can find a new certification for concrete lifting? And on the mentorship best practices, there's actually our membership committee looking to launch a formal mentorship program where we will look to pair up contractors, new or seasoned, with folks that have lent themselves to be very highly successful spray foam contractors to offer up those best practices and really identify trust relationships to
Yeah.
help mentor and allow for more growth within our wonderful spray polyurethane foam industry.
Wow. So the folks in this industry, you are so true. That you're formalizing the mentorship thing is fantastic.
Thank you.
I moderated a roofing panel yesterday morning with three very experienced contractors who had other contractors in the room, and they said, "You know what? I've got a whole operations manual for my service department. I'll give it to you."
Amazing. Isn't
Right?
that just incredible? Of course, there's competition, but it's so healthy. And the way we're really going to move this industry forward is to allow for the best contractors to rise and to really learn from each other. And these contractors that are on our leadership team and mentorship program hungry,
Yeah.
willing and wanting to give of themselves and to allow for those best practices to penetrate throughout the industry. That's a great story from
Yeah.
your recent roofing panel.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and just as a whole, everyone that I've talked to has talked about the next generation. That's mentoring, right?
Yes.
Training. That's the
Yes.
PCP.
That's
That's
right.
the certification. You guys are doing an amazing job of helping contractors and the industry overall.
Thank you. We're having a lot of fun. Like I say, we've got 26 board members. We have 12 committees that represent over 100 volunteers there as well. We are really putting forth a really proficient work plan, and we're on the path to execute it. But we still have a long way to go, and we're not going to stop. We've got the pedal to the metal for the rest of 26. We're planning not only through 27, but into the 2030s already for future conventions and whatnot.
Wow.
We're excited for the future of this brilliant industry.
So let's talk about membership in SPFA
Sure.
and who it's for.
It's for roofing contractors, spray polyurethane insulation contractors, if you're specialized in concrete lifting, any application. And of course, that's just the contractor side. The manufacturer, supplier, distributor, consultant community have come to us at a high level, but we're very, very proud. In 2025, for example, we brought in 118 new contractor members, which was by far the record for our association. And already in 2026, we're not even to April yet. We're still at the end of Q1. We're over 80 new contractors just this year so far.
Wow.
So we are growing leaps and bounds, but for good reason. These contractors, we've identified communication paths, marketing and communications to allow for a better dissemination of who we are and why we are a critical component to raising the level of contractor abilities and profitability, and just the opportunity to really identify higher levels of professionalism across the board. And now we're seeing the results of our benefits and services resonating with all of these contractor communities. And we're so excited to see this really exceptional growth on behalf of the industry.
Yeah, contractors are recognizing, as a contractor, sometimes you're a small business, you're in your service area. It's easy to feel like you're alone or on an island. But SPFA is that support.
It's the resource support. And for $750 for a contractor to come in as an entry-level member, $65 a month, it's a wonderful investment into their business, and they get tangible results right away from day one and throughout their opportunity to engage with not only the organization itself, but the members who, to your point, are very willing to want to identify a path to create these trust relationships with fellow contractors.
Wow.
It's pretty great.
Frank, thank you so much for being here and for sharing.
Sincerely.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing these great NIE projects.
Oh, it's coming up fast. And we're looking to Coatings Coffee Shop to allow for that dissemination of the winners. So we're really excited to work together and promote all those winning groups together and in partnership.
So your website is sprayfoam.org.
And we are very excited not only about the website, but our social media channels across all various platforms. We have a bi-weekly electronic newsletter, quarterly magazine. Look for all of that good information every opportunity you get within the SPF industry.
Just drink it up.
That's right.
Wow. Thank you, everybody out there, for joining us during the Spray Foam 2026 show. It has been so fun talking to our partners, to contractors, to SPFA, the main association here. We appreciate you. We encourage you to follow us on social media, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, because we want to keep you informed. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.